Besides sending the police, you might want to send an ambulance or a hearse.
Hello, Billy Ho here, coming at you with another fantasy football video for the 2023 football season. We're going to talk basically NFL in general, quarterback situation, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who's going to be their starter. They have three different guys that are, basically two. There's three guys on the roster, so to speak, and there's two that are challenging for the position anyway. So, I want to look at a different angle, see what Baker Mayfield's chances are of claiming the number one position, and Kyle Trask, who the Bucs drafted a few years ago in the second round, to see what kind of opportunities he's having coming into the season. So we're going to get into that, pros and cons, maybe just talk a little fantasy football in general for the Tampa Bay squad as a whole. So I appreciate you joining me. Love the comments. Keep them coming. Smash the like, notification bells, and all that stuff. And please, the main thing, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so. Race to 1,000 subs. We're almost there. Get me over the hump, and let's get started.
Football!
Okay, I told you in the intro there that the Bucs drafted Trask out of the University of Florida as 32nd in round 2. So 6'5", 240 pounds. He's a big body. We're looking at some highlights from his 2020 season. You can see the arm strength. You can see the touch. He has the ability to put up fat stats. So he scored a lot of touchdowns. In these highlights, you can see he had 10 games on the season out of 12 with at least 3 touchdown passes. So basically, he lit the scoreboard up. But, he had guys like Kadarius Toney and Kyle Pitts to throw to. So, it's pretty solid set of weapons there. So that's the similar kind of weapons he's going to have in Tampa. So you can see he stands tall in the pocket. He can make all the throws. With his size, he can plow into the end zone from the goal line and get it done. And, of course, he has been playing behind the GOAT, Tom Brady, for the last 2 seasons. So he knows how to perfect the quarterback sneak. Tom Brady, there is none better at the quarterback sneak than Mr. Brady. He gets it every time. So anyway, with weapons like Godwin and Evans, he should be a serviceable quarterback. And now I know with Tom Brady, Tom Brady's not what I would call a mentor by any means. He's kind of one of those guys where you just watch him and learn kind of thing. So, but he got to sit 2 seasons behind him. So I think he probably picked up a lot of tricks of the trade there. Anyway, so other weapons, Cade Otton was a nice tight end for him. I think he's a future star in the making. Rashad White taking over the running back duties, and along with Chase Edmonds as a secondary in the backfield. The Bucs D's average at best. So as far as fantasy purposes go, you're probably going to see opportunities for higher scoring games because they're going to be chasing points. So I don't know if Trask is the starter, how well the offense will flourish. But anyway, they have a new offensive coordinator, Dave Canales, and he comes over from the Seahawks. So you could see how well Geno Smith thrived in his offensive scheme last year. So hopefully he brings that over to the Bucs. And basically his scheme is a lot different because Tom Brady was, a statue type quarterback, purely drop back passer. He moves left to right, but he never rolls out. He was the bottom of in any kind of rollout, scrambling, any of those kind of situations, he was the bottom of the league in. So there's going to be a lot more of a pocket type or out of the pocket plays, designed rollouts and things of that nature like Geno did. They were well above league average in those kind of categories at Seattle. So keep an eye on that. So that doesn't really bode all that well for Trask because he's kind of a big, clunky kind of guy in the pocket, and his footwork's not all that great. But he's made efforts. I think he's probably dropped 5 to 8 pounds. So he's trying to increase his mobility. But I think if we switch over to Baker, I think Baker has the advantage in that category because the offense he played at Cleveland, he did a lot of scrambling. He did a lot of throwing on the run. He did a lot of rollout plays. So he's really going to like that part of the offense. So I basically turned the clock back to 2019 to show these highlights because I wanted to see what Baker was dealing with when he actually had really talented receivers like Jarvis Landry in his prime, Odell Beckham when he just first came over to Cleveland, and they had good backs in the backfield, and they had David Njoku and all that good stuff. So Baker, he had a pretty solid season in 2019. And he throws better on the run. His ability to get outside the pocket and move the play is what's going to help him get this job. So he does, as we know, throw far too many interceptions trying to make plays. So if he's matured on that, then good for him. But the one thing that Canales said he's going to pick the starter is he who turns the ball over the least in training camp is probably going to get the job. But that's just kind of probably an incentive type thing to make sure these guys know that it's going to be ball security above other types of intangibles. So that's what I'm looking at. But I think Baker's overall experience in the NFL is probably going to lead him to the week 1 starter. But that doesn't mean Trask is not going to get an opportunity. He may soon get his chance if Baker comes out and has any kind of injury problems or just comes out and he's throwing interceptions left and right and he's not taken to the offense very well, because Baker is one thing he does too often with his ego is he goes looking for contact and he's just too small at 6'1", 215 to be doing that. He's less durable, obviously. So ultimately, I think Baker starts week 1, but I honestly wouldn't be looking to draft either one of them in a fantasy league. Maybe Trask, you could try to scoop in a dynasty league. Maybe you could get him like in a later round. I haven't played dynasty in several years, so forgive me if I'm way off base here, but that would be the type of quarterback, because Baker might just get him through this first season. And then if Trask is anything at all, then you're going to see him probably work his way into the starting role here, or they're just going to try to tank I don't see them trying to tank the season, though. They got too much talent. Evans is a bit long in the tooth. Godwin's been around for a few years now. I know they got youngsters but they do need to rebuild after, losing Brady, because they kind of sold their soul to get Brady and win the Super Bowl. But anyway, that's just neither here nor there. That's looking at future prospects down the road. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. Please subscribe to the channel once again. Billy Ho Sports really appreciates all that view and all that support me. Shout out to the Discord channel, Billy Ho's Flophouse. Till the next video, see you soon.